I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so pleasant about that place. Even your emotion had an echo in so much space. When you out there without care, I was out of touch. But it wasn't because I didn't know, no. I just knew too much. Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Possibly. I hope that you're having the time of your life. Think twice. That's my only advice. Oh, who do you think you are? Oh, bless your soul. You think you're in control? I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. Just like me. My heroes had the heart, lose their lives out on the land. And all I remember is thinking I want to be like them. Oh, yeah. Ever since I was little, Hey everybody, it's a beautiful Friday morning here in the magnificent LSK, Lusaka City. I'm over here at Simoson Building, opposite City Market, on Simon Weir Lane, opposite Kalusha Walia Road. I'm on the corner of Lucia and Simon, over here at 8585 Simon Weir Lane. That's the address. That is the physical address of this building, 8585 Simon Weir Lane. Welcome, everybody. Hope you guys slept well last night and you're ready for a brand new day. I was just reading a comment just a few minutes ago. Somebody said, Mwewa start mabandos ya zasila. Well, there's only one answer to that, and that is make sure you buy enough bundles, okay? Make sure you buy enough bundles to do your thing. Guys, incidentally, before we begin, please take note, I will be having a guest in the next 15, 20 minutes here. I have a very special guest that's going to join me, not on this segment. This is just between you and I. I'll be with you 15 minutes, barely, if that. But after this, I'm going to interview someone, and I think that you're going to find that very interesting. Let's get into it. As many of you know, the NPF, the Notorious Patriotic Front, are going through a faction phase. There are several factions within the NPF that exist, factions that they themselves, the top brass of a certain faction led by Edgar Lungu and Rafael Nakachinda, Bowman Lusambo, Given Luwinda, and a few others. There's a faction there. There's a faction led by Miles Sampa. There is an undertone faction led by a silent few. Now, this is something that they won't tell you, that there is a cluster, there is a group from within the NPF, the Notorious Patriotic Front, that are silent now, but they are brewing a faction and they're waiting for the opportune time to emerge and make their displeasure known. Ooh, that's a deep one. That's a long one there. You need to let that sizzle in your spirit. You need to allow that to marinate in your soul. Let that take root in your cerebellum. Okay, that's very important, what I've just said to you right there. I could say it again, but the truth is you already know what I'm talking about. And so there's been trouble brewing for quite some time. And recently here we saw the illegal installation of a Secretary General that really has no business being there. Rafael Hijaka Nakachinda is a man that's been sent, he's a spoiler. He did the same thing in MMD. He was funded by the NPF. He was sent by the NPF to infiltrate the power structure of the MMD, and yet all he was doing was attempting to disband, dismantle, and destroy the MMD because he was sent to do so. And now here it is, we find the same man that came out of the MMD, tried to destroy it, did everything within his power to annihilate it, to obliterate it. He was removed from the MMD, and then now he went to the NPF, the Notorious Patriotic Front, with the idea of becoming close to the powers that be, namely ECL. He manipulated ECL into believing that he is a good guy, when we know good and hell well that Rafael Nakachinda is nothing but an infiltrator, a hijacker, and a spy. That's what he is. So here it is now. You've got this guy installed. And what's happening now is that Miles Sampa is front and center of this controversy. Now, the headline for this segment is Miles Sampa drops bombshell. Now, this is big. You know, he's already alluded to it, but I think it's our responsibility to dissect it and to interpret it and to tell you and share with you what we think what this means. Now, to some of you, this may sound insignificant. To others of you, this may sound mundane. But to those of you that are politically acute, those of you that are politically tuned in, you know that this is a big deal. And here it is. I'm going to break it down for you. Miles Sampa has dropped a bombshell. What is that bombshell, you may ask? Well, let me tell you. Miles Sampa said, that building there along Lumumba Road, that building called the PF Secretariat, and I've got a lot to say about that in a few moments, but let's do this chronologically. I'll get it right in a moment. We'll do this step by step chronologically. That building there called the PF Secretariat, the one that's along Lumumba Road, Miles Sampa has just revealed that there are only 3 people who know about that building. Miles Sampa says that building was bought. And the person who bought that building is dead. There are only 3 people that knew about that transaction. The man who bought the building, who now is dead. The second person is Miles. He knew about the purchase of that building. The third person, Miles says, has left. My brothers and sisters, according to Miles Sampa, the PF Secretariat belongs to Michael Chilufya-Sata. Therefore, that building called the Secretariat is a family asset. It doesn't even belong to the party, according to Miles. And because it's a family asset, it begs the question, where are the Sata children in the mix? So when you see these PF, NPF chaps prancing around, abena Emmanuel Mwamba, abena Rafael Nakachinda, vaingira mulia mu Secretariat mulia, vaingira nechira, nechimwera, kaishi tapari yafyo backward. It means those chaps, Rafael, has got no power over that building. If, in fact, and I'm inclined to believe Miles Sampa, I'd be very hard-pressed to think that Miles Sampa is just making it up. If Miles says that building was bought, and the inference, the insinuation, is that that Secretariat was bought by Michael Chilufya-Sata, which means abena nakachinda na abena ECL kapari chabo. That is a family asset. So my question then is, where are the Sata children? Abena mulenga, munikui. You Sata children, where are you? Don't allow these chaps to take what belongs to you, if at all what Miles is saying is true. And I am inclined to believe that it's true. So ngamwamona Miles alanda ifo twala ingira mu Secretariat. Now you understand where the confidence comes from. But ifo twala mona the other day, arenda that ina ala inga mu Secretariat. Nani umfomwenzo. I was very concerned. I said, iwe Miles. Ushewe warifishi befi minyangu nyangu iwe. PF kadangati baile. Anwaka chaso. Yafikomu. Eryo chiria chi new hijacker SG. Che chabu fi chiria chi Rafael Nakachinda. Gachatu mafonu kufi commanders fya minyangu nyangu. Fiatila imwe. Miles na ingira ku Secretariat. Kamuwombere nipo. My concern was my friend was going to be damaged. Now that Miles has revealed, kuti, chidia chikulu wa chidia twa ishibati chi PF Secretariat chidia cha hapa Lumumba Road chidia, niva asata bashitire. If true, then that building is a family asset. So now it is clear, and I understand now where Miles Sampa gets the confidence to walk into a Secretariat knowing full well that he's walking into the lion's den. Areti ichichikulwa is a family asset. It does not belong to Edgar Lungu. It doesn't belong to Miles, to Emmanuel Mwamba. It does not even belong to that hijacker, Rafael Savimbi, hijacker, fake Nakachinda. It doesn't. So now, Fidia Miles added and that today, what is today? What's the date? The 22nd of September. Miles added and that today, Europa 14 hours to ala quarter press conference. Muria mukati muria. Na futi nari umfomwenso. But with this new revelation, it makes perfect sense. Where are the PF cadres going to come? If in fact that building belongs to the Sata family and it is a family asset, where are those PF cadres going to come and say, Fumamuno? With what authority are they going to use to expel a Mauzi, one Mauzi Sampa? Where are they going to get that power? It doesn't belong to the NPF. Are you listening? Do you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? Do you sense and ascertain the implication of what Miles Sampa has said? It changes the whole game. It does. And I tell you, there's nothing worse than seeing people take advantage of a family asset. Nothing. I tell you, that is the most atrocious crime ever concocted in the human mind, where you look at someone who has passed away, he's left an asset behind, and then other wolves surround the asset. And those same wolves sideline the children, and they make the children feel like second-class citizens. You vagabonds, you demons, you despots, you bottom feeders, you clowns, you orangutans, you. This young girl, Reeves Malambo, his daughter is going through the same thing. Reeves passed away. Other wolves are surrounding Reeves's asset. The children who are the rightful heirs of Reeves' estate are the ones groveling. That's an atrocity. And so I say to you, my brothers and sisters, you Sata children, where abana baba Sata, if in fact what Maus is saying is true, take up your place, your rightful place, and claim that asset. Don't let these dragons, these vagabonds, these wolves take what belongs to you. And this is the reason. Some of you may not know this. This is the reason I keep telling you this story, and I will never get tired of saying and telling you this story. This is the reason before 2021, the NPF, the notorious Patriotic Front, had plans to build a brand new, ultra-modern PF headquarters, PF Secretariat. And this is the way they did it. You remember they wanted to build the house of prayer. Remember that botched ecumenical movement that they wanted to hatch? The NPF wanted to introduce a brand new religion. The ecumenical movement. You know what an ecumenical movement is? That's where every religion, every persuasion, the Muslims, the Hindus, the Sikhs, the Buddhists, the Shintos, the Watchtowers, the Baptists, the Catholics, the Presbyterians, everybody stands under one roof, hold hands and sing Kumbaya. On one hand, the NPF were praying. On the other hand, they were stealing. On one hand, the NPF were saying, let us bow our heads and seek the face of God. And on the other hand, they were brutalizing members of the opposition. On one hand, the NPF were talking about prayer and supplication and seeking the face of God. On the other hand, they were beating anyone that wore a Manchester United t-shirt, anyone that wore an HH t-shirt, anyone that wore a red t-shirt. Do you see the hypocrisy of this demonic congregation called the PF? So here it is. So here's what they did. They decided to get a piece of land that belongs to the army. They collected millions of unaccounted money. To this day, we don't know how much money was spent on that bogus edifice, that building on Burma Road. Then, when the NPF realized that they were losing the election, here, let me my computer. There we go. When the NPF realized that they were going to lose the 2021 elections, they got Judge Muma to illegally demarcate that piece of land on Burma Road. The same land, the same piece of land that they said they were going to build the brand new PF Secretariat on, Because the NPF realized they were losing the elections, quickly they demarcated the land. They put it in the name of the NPF. And then guess what they did? They turned around and they sold that piece of land to a Chinese manufacturing firm for $1 million US. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? These are facts that Rafael Savimbi Nakachinda will never, ever talk about. These are issues that the NPF will never want to be asked on camera. Anytime they go to a radio interview, a television interview, they tell the moderator, don't ask us about this. Land that belongs to the Zambian people. The NPF stole it. Land that belongs to the Zambia army. The NPF stole it. And they turned around and they sold it for $1 million. And the only people that benefited from that piece of land were the top brass of the NPF. And you know who I'm talking about. Abapansha part the lower organs of innocent karimanshi, whatever mbarabadia, wali shimona. Voila. They didn't even know anything about that transaction. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? So the bombshell is that. The bombshell is, Miles says, the PF Secretariat located on Lumumba Road was purchased by the late Michael Sata, which means that property is a family asset, and the PF have no hold over that building. And I am waiting to see today what's going to happen. Miles said 14 hours, he's going to hold a press conference there. We're going to see what's going to happen. Tell me in the comments below, what do you think is going to happen today? Tell me. I'll read a couple of your comments. They thought they could go Saddam's route. Hati wapya munzi. Mwebantu is watching. Wapya munzi. Very demonic party. Yeah, and these are the guys that that say they want to come back. It's crazy. All right. Well, I thought I'd share that with you. Thank you for watching.